YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth, appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Oh boy, here we go, you guys. Once again, another day Cam is not happy with somebody speaking about him in the media. Now, just like we've seen before with people like Melissa Ford, Jim Jones, Joe Budden, and pretty much anybody that Cam has beef with over the last couple of years, if you're not going to speak positive about him, just don't mention him, or he's going to think you're beefing with him. That's his mindset and approach with everything. Cam has a shoot first mentality and ask questions later. Now, did an interview with Art of Dialogue, and he asked him about Cam's reason for not performing the records on his first debut album.
Comments about his first album, Confessions of Fire, saying that he don't perform songs from it.
Well, I mean, if he had performed records from Confession of Fire, he would have done a better job at the verses in Madison Square Garden, because all of those records from Confession of Fire was #1 records in New York City. Talking about Huge, 357, Pull It, all of his records. The Dipset records, they were not New York records. They was out of town. If you had did this show in Ohio, you probably would have won. But you're in New York City and you don't play none of your New York City records. I would have started the record with Pull It. I'd have started the record with Pull It and then said, yeah, I'm rapping with y'all daddy, and then dropped the microphone off of Pull It and walked out the fucking garden. Because that record would have killed that building, and when you heard DMX growl, it would have been over.
Cam actually went on Drink Champs and he spoke on the reason why he doesn't perform records from that album.
In your performance, you don't do none of your old shit. You don't do like Horse and Carriage or What Mean the World to You and shit like that. Is there a reason for that?
I'll do What Mean the World to You.
Okay.
I really want to do Horse and Carriage because, like, even though that album was dope, everybody likes Confessions of Fire, it's not 100% mine. Like, I wrote everything and, you know, did everything, but Un had a lot of say on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Un is a creative dude, and I'm a creative dude, but if you in a car, it's only one steering wheel, only one person could drive. So we clash heads a lot, and not in a bad way, just creatively, but you gotta realize, from their point of view, I signed my deal in September 1997, something like that, 90, November, whenever, but Biggie died in March. So they live with Big, that's their man. Everything I did got compared to Big.
Wow.
Like, yo, Big would have did it like this, or Big would have did it like that, because that was his crew. And I'm like, I'm not from Brooklyn, I'm not Big, it's only one Big, you know, you gotta let me be myself.
Now, even though Un did not say anything crazy, anything offensive about Cam still took it the wrong way. He went on Instagram to respond to Un. He said, yo, shaking my head, you might be right, but I would keep my opinion to myself. And now here goes where the personal shots start. He said, especially since I sent you over 20K in the last year because you're homeless and was sleeping on Jacob York's couch freeloading. Hey man, what that got to do with anything, brother? Why you gotta expose me like this? I felt bad for you. You're too old to be homeless. Then asking for my connect, for book deals, for movies. But I'll talk about it more on Talk with Flea. And don't try calling me neither. You opened this can of worms again. So let me tell more shit that I've never said. And I don't want to hear it wasn't that crazy. When a nigga help you when you down bad, it should only be I have nothing negative to say about Killer. That's my nigga. Now, a lot of people were in the comments calling out Cam saying, bro, you're tweaking. You're looking for a reason to beef with him right now. And it is kind of hypocritical if you start off by saying, yo, you might be right, and then you try to end it off by playing victim, trying to make it seem like he was trash talking you. Just because you gave the man some money does not buy his opinion. Now, Un actually responded. He said, yo, Cam, let's start with the money you sent me. I really appreciated it at the time that you sent it. I really thought it was a birthday gift. And for the record, it was $9,500, not 20 grand. I'll gladly send it back if it was a loan. Now, addressing my gracious host, Jacob York, who had a $20K a month condo in Beverly Hills and hosted me while I was working, developing Fulton Street for an Amazon Audible for Fulton. And as it pertains to your movie connect, your Hollywood connect came from me. check percentage credits. And don't talk on talk with Flea without me. We can have a real personal discussion. And I told y'all in the interview, don't come out and defend those guys. And just like that, they put you and Fat Joe out there as pawns. I'll also do the Jada and Joe show. Foot in Street coming soon. Now, brother, I'ma defend you with the first comment in the interview. You definitely kept it respectful. If anything, you were actually praising him and his catalog with the first album. But you gotta know Cam is not going to take too lightly to you calling him a pawn. Even though you can definitely make the case that without there would be no Cam, it seems at this point, Cam is now fully invested and fully leaning into media. He's no longer interested in squashing beef behind the scenes. This is all about ratings and getting numbers for his show. So that means even if I gotta come online to address some personal shit with somebody that I've known for decades, I'm going to do it because that's my job. And I'll be honest with you guys, it is kind of corny for Cam to expose that he gave money to and that he was apparently homeless at some point. Certain things should not be for the media, certain things should not be public, but you cannot tell somebody how to respond back. If Cam felt disrespected by comments, it is what it is, no pun intended. You guys get in the comments below. Do you guys think was trying to diss Cam? And what do you guys think about Cam's and responses back to each other? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.
Comments about his first album, Confessions of Fire, saying that he don't perform songs from it.
Well, I mean, if he had performed records from Confession of Fire, he would have done a better job at the verses in Madison Square Garden. Because all of those records from Confession of Fire was #1 records in New York City. Talking about Huge, 357, Pull It, all of his records. The Dipset records, they were not New York records. They was out of town. If you had did this show in Ohio, you probably would have won. But you're in New York City and you don't play none of your New York City records. I would have started the record with Pull It. I'd have started the record with Pull It and then said, yeah, I'm rapping with y'all daddy, and then dropped the microphone off of Pull It and walked out the fucking garden. Because that record would have killed that building, and when you heard DMX growl, it would have been over.